that in the recognition that if there's an I, it cannot be found, therefore it is not something, because a something can be found. You follow? You know, I've looked everywhere, under every concept I looked, under every stone, everything I looked everywhere, inside, outside, up, down, I can't find it. So in the not being able to find it, are you left with a frustration? And who is it that didn't find it? I have to be very careful, because I can see, new confusions beginning again. Like, oh my God. I had one confusion, now I have two now. The sense of I, when searched for, cannot be found. What is discovering this? Can that be found? I think we better stop for a second. Because if anything, this question should be leaving something here, exposing something here, revealing something here, that there is a nothing to be found. Because the sense I is a sensation, but not an object. You follow? Who is in on this? Yeah. The sense I, when searched for, cannot be found, still it remains. So it must be that it is a sensation, but it's not an object. Because if it was an object, it could be found. It cannot be found, nothing is found, yet the sense I still remains. So is this I an object or not an object? And when I say I, you're not speaking about another kind of I, it's your own self. At the moment, we are feeling that myself, I'm this body, I am this body. Okay? I am this body. But this body doesn't know you. This body doesn't know I belong to Prabhu. The body is completely innocent. Does this body know it's Sunday? It's kind of like, no. Like if you forget, the body says, no, it's Sunday. Does it know things like this? It doesn't know anything like that. But something inside says, I am this body. The body is innocent. It says, I am this body. And then you feel, okay, so I am here. I am here. Where exactly? Here. Yeah. But what do you mean the body? The body I can see. Is the body saying, I am here? So, this question belongs only somewhere where it can be biting inside. It show you something. But I sense very often that we don't catch it. So then it becomes like a complexity. And actually it's a simplicity. It's like if you look in a mirror, the mirror does not give you any opinion. It only reflects. It doesn't say, I think you look like rubbish today. It doesn't say, it just reflects. And something says, I look like rubbish today. Okay? The mirror does not have an opinion. It never says, look, I'm a bit busy at the moment, reflecting daffodils. Humans later. It doesn't make any decision like that. It just reflects. The consciousness is just reflecting somehow. It doesn't have any opinion. That's why when you say, I don't know anything, I feel space in this. But something inside is going, but I want to know something. I want to know who I am. Because you've heard many sages, many holy books say, you must know who you are. Okay? Also Mooji is saying, you need to know what you are. And he said, but I don't know who I am. Then I say, but yes, you cannot know it like that. Then you say, but why do you say it then? I say, yes. You've got to know who you are, but it's not a knowledge that you can have separate from being what you are. So to know what you are is to be what you are. And to be what you are is not an action that you will take, like I'm going to be what I am. It is to discover that which just is. That's it. I have to find another way of explaining this. You can't find yourself. You said just now. I said, yes, it's quite correct. You cannot find yourself with the mind. You cannot find it as something like I'm looking for my bell. Ah, I found it. Okay, call off the search. I found my bell. You cannot find yourself like this. Suppose you found yourself and you were this. Oh my God, myself. Oh, so beautiful. For how long would you know that? At some point you know that it cannot be myself because I heard it. And I saw this thing. So I cannot be the thing I'm seeing because I'm the one seeing it. So obviously you cannot find the truth like that unless the truth is different from you. And the truth cannot just be an object. It's just this paradox because ultimately in real discovery all your knowledge become kind of paradoxes. You see. But we want it to be straightforward. Have you seen my letters? Oh, they're here. Oh, okay. Good. Thank you. Got it. Have you seen my bell? Ah, it's here. Thank you very much. Have you seen myself? I can't find myself. Yeah, but you're there. Oh, this is my body. But myself, where's myself? Well, it must be where your body is. Then your body is there in sleep and I call you, hello, John. Nobody's answering. Where are you? The body is here. Where are you? Forget about it. Forget about it. Ask me again.
Okay. When you said you're just speaking as an idea of yourself, that kind of somehow struck something inside. And
I said what?
You said when you speak, you're speaking as an idea of yourself. Would you believe that you're speaking as an idea of yourself or something like this?
Yeah, I said that about me.
No.
Yeah.
You said that when we were speaking in Zimar or something.
Suppose I say right now, I'm nothing. Because I've been saying this, I'm nothing at all. I don't know anything. I don't know anyone. I don't know any scripture. I don't know truth. I don't know lie. I don't know. I don't know. Is there a space to say this? Is there a space to admit I don't know anything? I don't know anything at all? And some people go, yeah, he's being very mystical now. He's very mystical now. Because we know he knows a lot. He knows more than us. Okay? But now he's saying I don't know. So he's gone to another level. He's gone to another level now. Because when he speaks like that, hey man, we're finished now. We can't follow that. I'm saying, okay, I'm simply saying I don't know anything. And there's enormous joy in my heart when this is here to say I don't know anything. I'd love to bring you into this, to lead you into that state, not just in me, in you, the same thing, lead in this, so that you can go, Mooji, this is what you mean. Of course I don't know anything. I don't know anything at all. You see? And it's not a game we're playing like, oh, sometimes I know. And then I can go to the place where I don't know. No, I don't know. What is there to know? Suppose I say I know this bell. What does it mean, I know this bell? I know it. What do you mean, hello bell? I mean, how do I know the bell? Does the bell know me? No, the bell doesn't know me. I know the bell. What is there to know about it? We are so caught in the depth of conditioning that somehow you're disbelieving what I'm speaking, which is obvious. How can I know? I just know this is something here. What is it? It's a bell. It's a bell. What does it mean, a bell? I say I don't know anything at all. Of course I know that You can say, I know that this is a bell because I say, I know this is a bell. Okay, that's right. This is a book. This is paper with words on it. Of course I can say that. This is some sand. This is a paint with a lot of, well, it's a trousers with paint, actually. At the moment it looks like it's a paint with some trousers, but okay. Okay, I can look like this. No? So of course we can speak this language. We can speak this language. I'm not pretending like, I know nothing. No, I can speak the language that this is a kurta, this is a shawl, this is mala, and this is a microphone. Of course we can say like that. Then what do you mean you know nothing? Then can I say both? That in a way of the language of life and mind, because we have to talk, and it says, oh, can I have some more sugar? Can I have some Marias? Can I have some cheese? But of course you must know what cheese is. No? Do I know what cheese is? Please, give a bit of space. I want some cheese. Okay? This is a language. This is my symbol. I want some cheese. So they bring me this thing which I like. Do I know what cheese is? I don't know what cheese is. I wonder if you're following. I don't know anything. I cannot stand and say, I know this. Because there's a time when there's a feeling I don't know anything at all. I don't know anything. So it's a simple thing. But if you get it, which is a very subtle thing, then you know what? All your so-called problems are going to vanish. This is why I'm sticking on this thing, and it seems like I'm screwing up your head. But it's just because your head is screwed up, and I'm trying to unscrew it. That's all. We have the sensation that we know something, and on this basis, you feel, because I know some things, then I don't know myself. Okay. And there's a clarity there that maybe at present it is not seen clearly. But it will come. It will come not because I've spoken the words only, but because somehow this is taking place. And what is this? I don't know. This is whatever it is. In each body, it's going to behave in a certain way, and it's going to bring a new orientation in some way or not, like this. But something makes us feel insecure about that sometimes. That I like to be in control. I like to know what I know and what I don't know. I need some control over that. I'm just speaking like that at the moment. I'm coming back again.
I don't know where. I'm just here. I don't know.
It's good enough. Because you say I don't know, and I say I don't know. But I'm happy about I don't know. But you seem not to be happy about you. I don't know. And what is the difference between your I don't know and my I don't know? Just identity and maybe belief. And it is not a trick. It might sound like, oh, it's very clever. It's not clever. It's very simple. But we have other ways of talking about it. We can forget about this. We'll find another door. We'll find another door to go into the same room, which is okay. We can find another door. Maybe you'll hear one. I don't know. I'm just about to read another. I don't know. Dear Mooji, there has been desperate, compulsive attempts to reach you from this person, as she was confused and mistakenly thought that reaching you would save her from being simply me, big me. This person had realized me for several hours. She's using a capital M, me, whatever it is. But excitement came, and then unconsciousness again. There was a moment in this realization that the name I have was perceived to be strange and unrelated. But as unconsciousness crept back, she remembered the name to be intolerable, which was not quite the right word. As the one that I am now, the name is not relatable to me especially. This person was writing because she was not perceiving approval and authority here. So, she is trying to get it from the only one left in the world that she believes that she can get it from, you. At one point, authority will be known to be here. As a female person, there is a dying belief that she does not hold authority which has been obtained from culture, world views, etc. I am here, sending waves of presence and peace with a blossoming heart, and I bow to the grace that is yourself. Lindsay. When you say there was a moment in this realization that the name that I have was perceived to be strange and unrelated, is a little bit like what we were talking a bit before, that at some point the things that were taken to be a fact began to feel like they're fiction. You see, why is that? Because there's a crossing over from the sense of being a person into the state of presence. Into the state of presence, you're less personal, because when you're personal with life, it's a complexity. You start to find enemies where there were none before. You start to find contradictions and difficulties and challenges. When you are the consciousness, the sense I am is consciousness, you're more naturally in the position of the observing. Somehow it is just like observing more and acting and reacting less. Even though actions and reactions and interactions may occur in front of you, you have a sense that I'm only observing these. I'm not a participant in them directly. That is a difference. The person is always active, involved, confused, trying to get out of one situation, trying to get in another situation. It's a very complex, a very hot and aggressive field, the person. Now as you are discovering, but wait, you can observe that even the person that I thought I was is kind of observable, like there's a seeing of this. In that seeing, a greater space becomes present, and even your name, as Lindsay was saying, was perceived to be strange and unrelated for a while. Now, that can be experienced with a joy, with a space, like, wow, who is Lindsay? You may find yourself asking your own name, who is John? Whose hand is that? And these questions, although you don't answer them verbally, the questions themselves were provoking some responses internally. You're thinking, my God, instead of answers, you're having experiences, feelings, some subtlety, some movement of the way in which you're perceiving becomes much more sensitive. All of these things are happening. You see? But as unconsciousness crept back, she remembered the name to be intolerable, which was not quite the right word. So what she means by but as unconsciousness crept in, what it means, meaning that the consciousness is here, but now unconsciousness means my identity. When my identity is there, I am unconscious of being conscious. I'm only conscious of being a person. And when the person comes back, there is some, resistance, like, whoa, what is this? And that kind of confused state comes. Sometimes we have looked and noticed that somebody is speaking. There's some people going up to there. Somebody can go and say that that's out of bounds for them. There is sometimes I saw someone come on the platform when we were speaking. I think the attention should be here right now. Okay, and somehow we looked, and there was a kind of an aliveness, and the person was speaking like this, and clarity was coming, and then suddenly the mind came in, identity, and you see the body language changing and becoming like this, and You can see it. Like suddenly there's sunshine and suddenly the clouds become heavy and rain start to come. The change is as significant as that. When you're wearing the identity of a person, then all of this comes back into this idea, this feeling of this cramped feeling that need to know, and I feel so frustrated. When the person is not there, there's more spaciousness, there's a lightness, there's a relaxedness, there's a spontaneity again, like this. As the one that I am now, the name is not relatable to me. That which I am now, the name is not significant anymore. That I'm called John or George or whatever. That feels more distant. Because now there's just a state of presence. And that state of presence, it doesn't have, it is beyond the name that my parents give me. Yes, it is. So it's not relatable to me especially. This person was writing because she is not perceiving approval and authority here. So she's trying to get it from the one left in the world that she believes that she can get it from, which is you. At one point, authority will be known to be here. As a female person, there's a dying belief that she does not hold authority, which has been obtained from culture, worldview. So here is someone who wants to be somebody. For a while, you want to be someone, you want to be acknowledged. I felt that people disrespect me because I'm a woman, or they disrespect me because I'm from Mexico, or they disrespect. We are very strongly identified with the body and the identity and the culture and so on. And that body feels like it's not adequately respected in life, and it should be respected. It should be given more space. It should be all of these things. It requires a lot. So when you're requiring so much, you're often frustrated, because when you ask something from people, they don't want to give it to you. Like, you need to show me respect. It's like, get out of here. I don't want to respect you. If I respect you, it's something that flows from me. You can't ask me to respect you. You see? So when you're demanding something, it becomes a pressure for people. When you're not demanding anything, the people respect you. You see? Now, I'm not teaching you a technique of how to get respect. I'm just saying that when you're obsessed with wanting things, it seems as though you don't get them. And it's right. Because life is not here to satisfy anyone's projections. You simply have to come more again into your natural being, which doesn't want to be anything. It doesn't want to be clever. It doesn't want to be a guru. It doesn't want to be, a soldier. It doesn't want to be anything. It's simply happy. It's content. And it can perform any role. It doesn't matter. A sage is quite happy to go and clean the toilets. They're thinking, hey, listen, I'm a sage. My toilet clean. I should be sitting on a throne. Is it? Well, you clean this throne first. And then they are not going to be bothered about that. It's only the personality that feels, whoa, I don't want to be in this position because people can see me clean toilet, and look, I'm from New York. I can't be seen. So these are the kind of things that see. So I am here sending waves of presence and peace with a blossoming heart. I bow to the grace that is yourself and yourself. Very good. Very good. If you sit this way, then you feel you're with me. And we're talking, you're talking. When I talk, you're talking.
Sorry.
Dear Mooji, my beloved master, during Zimar, I clearly saw that this life is a mixture of finite images, sounds, sensations, etc., perceived through the senses and given meaning through the prism of the mind. All of this is casually seen by my own self. Words cannot describe this joy. As I looked at my mother upon coming home, I no longer see through my old eyes. I am so filled with love and compassion for her and all beings that the past memories and complaints are not there. However, the old pattern of egoic thinking is still present, and in brackets sometimes flowing in the veins, but then seen through as nothing. There is still continuous effort involved in checking in and confirming this, especially with being back in familiar surroundings. Mooji, I want to go all the way until this sleep of delusion has ended. I see that there is no future, no past, only the self. But the game of transcendence in time still has its role to play. Please let me know if you have any words for me. So much love. I bow at your feet. Esther, USA. Oh, Esther. Our Esther? Okay, very good. I want to go all the way until this sleep of delusion is ended. Yes, this is good. I see that there is no future, no past, only the self. But the game of transcendence in time still has its role to play. Yeah, let it play. Let it play. Somehow. There is even the witnessing of transcendence. Listen. There's also the witnessing. This is not, another super state. No, right here. In your most subtlest, in your inner silence, you see that even the state of transcending, like expanding, is also perceived. You see? Then if you ask, but by what is it perceived? Don't go mental. Don't give this question to your mind, because your mind will do a lot of dirty things with it. By what is it perceived? And you somehow find, maybe you close your eyes. Don't use imagination also. You don't need imagination. It takes you right back to a silence inside. And nobody is living in that silence. The silence itself, can you say it is you? You can say it is your perfume. The peace and the joy and the silence, the stillness. But the you cannot find. And yet, nothing can be without you. Why is this difficult? Because your school didn't teach you. Our schools did not teach us. Our temples and churches and synagogues did not teach us that. Our friends did not teach us. Our family did not teach you like that. Nobody teaching this thing. Nobody reminding this thing. Everybody believe it. And even the friend who was having a thought that there are people who are hiding the truth from us, isn't it, Mooji? They know the truth. And they were for a moment conceived of maybe they are politicians who know the truth. I said, no, they don't. They do not. You see, you may think like that. There's a kind of feeling that some people know the truth, They know it. But they've locked it up. Locked it up. I said, no, they don't know it. They don't know it. No? Maybe they tell you they know it. Or maybe they tell you, no, we really don't know it. Because they know to play with your head. We really don't know it. And you think, they really do know it. Okay? But they don't know the truth. To know the truth is to know yourself. And when you know yourself, you could not deliberately harm another living being. Not deliberately harming like that. Like to try and poison their being or to corrupt their mind or something. This is what I call harm. So it's very good. Dearest Mooji, how do I release the deep conditioning of being a wife, mother, and the feeling of responsibility and the desire to care for and protect them? Somebody? Much gratitude and love. Camille. Gitz, Gietz, Gietz? No German or not? Gietz. Gitz. Camille Gitz. How do I release the deep conditioning of being a wife, mother, and the feeling of responsibility and the desire to care for and to protect them? Well, first, something wants to be released from it, isn't it? This is the door already. The door is opened a bit. No? Something wants to come out from the intense conditioning that I don't think I don't want to be a mother. It's not you don't want to be a mother or wife, but the deep conditioning that becomes a limitation to feel that that's all I am, that's all you are, and the feeling of responsibility and the desire to care for and to protect them, meaning the family or the children or whatever. How to be free of this? Why? Because it's not free. Not the role of a mother that you care for your family. No, there's something. But if you start to feel without me, they don't exist. They will all fall apart. Their life has no integrity if I am not here. Then you need to be careful of this. And then you exchange your life. And you may think, oh, this is good, I'm a martyr now. I am exchanging my life so that my children can be free and I will not be free. This is not required of life for you. That is not required of you for life. You must find your life. Find your truth. Yes. Because when you find who you are, you'll be a greater mother, if you want to say that. Knowing who you are, than not knowing who you are and thinking that you have to defend and protect. You know what a trauma that is? And also, you may also be defending and protecting with all your might. And in the end, they may spit in your face also. Isn't it? Sometimes because of love, you try to protect the people when you need not to protect them. Sometimes we have to feel the pain that's coming to us. You know? And it's not unloving. Sometimes it's great love that allows people to feel the necessary pain they need to feel, than to try and protect them from every little thing and let them live like a Barbie doll or something. In the end, it is not a good thing. So with love, although many mothers, they have tremendous love, but it has to be also supported by wisdom. And that wisdom tell you that people do have to feel. Pain is a part of life, like joy is part of life. And it's not apart from life. It's a part of life. And it's going to help us to be more understanding. When you feel pain, you have more empathy for other beings. When you don't feel these things, you start to say, like, oh, you know, they should know better, and oh. But when you feel it, you start to say, yes, I understand. Like that. So, how do I release the deep conditioning of being a wife, mother, and the feeling of responsibility and desire to care for and to protect them? Because at a certain time, it becomes overbearing. If all you're doing is defending and protecting, always protecting and defending, then there's no life left for you almost like that. Is it what we are here to do? I don't feel like this. It said Jesus Christ gave his whole life for those who came to him. You know? But he had to first find his life in order to give it. He had to find the true life. And when he found the true life, he could say, come to me, all of you who are burdened by life, and I will give you rest. Only someone who is empty can say this thing. And most human beings are already full. And then on top of that, more full of noise, responsibility, demands, and it seems like it doesn't get easier sometimes. So how do I release the deep conditioning? Already the urge to be released from this. Meaning that the wisdom is already functioning in you to say, you know, yes. It's not that you have to divorce your husband, give up your children, not at all. But you want to be free from that binding thing that makes you can't even go away to have an afternoon by yourself because your mind is still wondering whether your children are going to drown or, you know, somebody's going to take them away or your husband is in some other person's house or something like this. Then you become a complete victim of your own love, if you want. Not even love, attachment. You see? And desire to care and protect them. Much gratitude and love. How do I release the deep? I send you all my heart. I I turn towards you that full understanding. I turn towards you this. And if inside you say, yes, I don't know how, but I do know that I choose this thing. I choose freedom. That's all. I choose freedom. I will give you an example. Many years ago, I was working as a teacher in college. And I was not trained as a teacher. I was an artist, and I was invited to come to college to give some talks and to show some slides of my work there. And they liked it, and the students liked it, and myself liked it. And they invited me, you want to come and do some part-time work? And little by little bit, I continued doing this work. Then one of my favorite classes was a pre-foundation art group. They were the group that are just about to leave to go into art school now. So they are a bit more sophisticated. We can discuss ideas and so on like that. A nice group of young people. Yeah? And I am not so dissimilar in age from them, actually. But we are there. And then my house, my home, was very near to college. Very near. Maybe just 300 meters from college. So I used to ride my bicycle right into the classroom. Because it's very easy. And then somehow they regarded me as a cool teacher. You know, yeah, they're like, oh, you know, we go and eat lunch together. We were very close and so on. I didn't go and eat with the teachers. I was always with the students. I felt more comfortable there. Then sometimes I would say, come back to my studio. They go back to my studio. Then we sort of talk about paintings. We totally loved it, you know, for a bit. But after a while, they start to come. They bring a bit of beer. You mind if we bring a beer? They start to bring beer. They start to roll some things. Talking about, yeah, that's really nice. The way that's working there. And we got into this nice scene, no? And just about then, my life was changing now, as it's brought here now. And something at one point started to feel not comfortable. I felt something is contaminated here, not right. Now they were coming in. I even let them. 2 of them had the keys to come to the house. They would come into the house and they come and then they take some beer. They roll something. I said, "Hey, you know, teach, how's it going?" And yeah, I'm fine. You know, like, you know, and like this, can we leave some beer in the fridge? And I was thinking, no, I don't like this. It's not good. Yeah, it's okay. And like this. So something was not working, but the life internally had changed somehow. And this was going on for a long time. Like this. Then one day I was walking in the park, in my local park, and as I'm walking, it came very clear that this needed to stop. This situation, like, cool. All these students come. I had about 7 students coming there, very close. They loved me and everything like this, and they come and do. But the situation I was not liking. My heart was feeling that I don't want this anymore. Walking in the park, and it became very clear, this has to stop. It just has to stop. But immediately, the feeling was like, but how can I tell them I don't want you to come anymore to the house? Because something inside was very weak like that. I said, it was like I'm throwing out my children. I said, how can I tell them that? You know, they're going to really feel what's happening, you know, and I have to justify, and I don't know how. And it felt very painful. But inside my heart I prayed, Father, you know why you brought this revelation to me in my heart. I see I have to do this. I have to let this go. Please show me how to do it. Put the right words in my mouth. Bring the situation in such a way that it's not hurtful to them. Help me to do this. But I've chosen yes. And this is what I want to tell you happened. From that day, nobody came to my house. Nobody came to my house. Except for the weekends, every day after college, they come to my house. And it's been going on for nearly like 8 months, going on. Every day. From this moment, nobody came to my house. I never went to any one of my students and say to them, look, could you sit down? I need to talk to you. And like, let me see what's the best way I can say this. I never had to do any of this. And that gave great confidence inside my heart. I said, what is the important thing here? The important thing is that you choose what is true. Your mind says, oh, you choose the true, it's a big deal to change your life. Huh? How are you going to do that? Well, I never had to do that. It changed somehow. And until this day, I can't tell you how it goes. What told them in their mind? Did they get together and talk about it? I don't know. I never asked. I continued to go to college. I continued to work with these students. We never talked about it. Okay? We never talked about it. So, with this experience, I pass it on to you. Sometimes you may feel there's something in my life that needs to change, but it's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of courage to change. No. As I said before, if you choose to do what is true and right in your own heart, it cannot turn out to be wrong for others. If you choose what is right in your heart, it won't turn out to be wrong for someone else. Of course, they may say, why are you leaving me? But it's not a wrong. Don't pay attention to his crocodile tears. Sometimes they are also being released. Sometimes you have to throw them out of the house. Because that is life. It's time to go. It's time for change. And you must have a little courage. Maybe you say, I can't throw them out. I can't do it. Okay, then don't. But inside your heart says, I choose to be free. And leave it to life. I can't guarantee that it will be exactly like I tell you, like this. But what I can tell you is that you will not suffer. Your life will refresh itself. It will come to life. Not in the way that your projections may think, but you will stay alive. Nobody's here to live under anybody. You understand? Maybe for a while, for some reason, life puts you to be on the ground for a bit, okay? But it's only because it has to educate you in some way, to change something internally so that you can walk again in the light of consciousness and peace. Not everyone is to be here as some king or some ruler, some princess, some queen. Sometimes you may live a dog's life for a bit, okay? But you'll find the Buddha in the dog's life. You see? So this is why I say, just simply, if you say yes, the power of yes. Yes to the true. But don't have any design on how the yes should look. Just say yes to the true. And leave the rest to life. And this is life, I say. You see? Oh, this is very big. Look for smaller ones. Smaller ones. Dearest Mooji, your presence on the internet has changed my life. Thank you for doing what you are doing. The satsangs via internet changed me forever. After studying a course in miracles for 2 decades, here you come and blow me up with a few words. No, with your presence. I hope for many, many, many other human beings to be done through your loving presence. Love, love, love. Katia from California. Very good. Very good. Sometimes here you say somebody's practicing something for 2 decades. 2 decades is 20 years. But in a moment, an insight sets you free. Just something opens inside your heart and it sets you free. Maybe you're trying hard, but somehow you're trying hard, but you are free. And then someone will simply come tell you, but you are free. You go, free. Like this. You see? So very good, Katya. Very good. Dearest Mooji, with all my heart, I thank you for the opportunity to join you in satsang. My heart sings as the truth is recognized. There is no understanding of anything you speak. Only a huge relief at the knowing that comes as you speak. Oh, look at that. The world is new and innocent every day. There is no fear, just a vast sense of being. Words fail. You took my hand and you lead me home. So beautifully you are who I am. So beautifully you are who I am. With boundless love, M. There is no understanding of anything you speak. It is okay. It's okay. You don't have to understand. Only a huge relief at the knowing that comes as you speak. This is a strange thing. You say, you're listening, I don't understand anything he's talking about. But still at the same time, there's a knowing that comes as you speak. So something is already released. Not through intellectual understanding, but somehow at some energetic level, there seems to be a freedom, a knowing, a confirming. The world is new and innocent every day. There is no fear, and just a vast sense of being is enough. Before, maybe you were like a bird in a little cage, but now somehow there's this vastness. There's just a vast sense of being, like that. And I said something before that I think one of the modern illnesses, the modern disease, is a sense like a lack of inner space. We're so full of so much information, so much demands, so much things you have to be, so much things you have to know, and so on. So here, yes, someone is testifying, the world is new and innocent every day. There's no fear, just a vast sense of being. Words fail. Let words fail. Because as you come again into your understanding, the concepts don't intimidate you. You see them as concepts. Why? Because you are beyond the concept. You took my hand and you lead me home. So beautifully you are who I am. Very great. With boundless love, M. Thank you. The question is how to be an active disciple of yours. Mooji, if I live so far away with no means of coming to you. I have committed myself to following your teachings and listen, read, contemplate every day for last 2 years on your words. I live in the most amazing place of nature in San Salvador, El Salvador, in bracket the Savior, and realize the abundant gift to even be alive at this time that you are walking the earth. Your satsang, your Sunday live satsangs, reach so many from around the world who more than ever need a bit more guidance in these unusual times. This can feel like a lonely journey, and I am on my own here. So how to proceed? With devotion and love, Kelly. I would say keep opening your heart to already something is responding internally. It's not a mental thing. It's not an intellectual thing. Something is felt inside you. Then say yes to that. Say, help me to move out of the way of you. Or merge me in you. You see? Rid me of ego, merge me in you. You see? Because something knows that this presence that's emerging in you is something holy. It's something pure. It's not a person. It's the pure grace that arises from the self. And you can trust it. You can trust it, you see. Everywhere you're doing, everywhere you go now, you'll find this presence is there. It's here, underlying all your experiences, you see. So Kelly, you trust it, you see. Trust this, welcome it. Say, please guide me. I don't have a means of traveling around the world and so on. I have no power to do these things. You are my power. You be my power. You say like that. You be my power. I have no power. I have no power. I have no money. I have no means. I don't have a lot of education. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of experience. But you are here. So you be my power. Yeah. Or replace me with you. Yeah, like this you say. How can I be an active disciple of yours, Mooji? I live so far away. It makes no difference. Some of those who are nearest to me, sometimes I see them only maybe once in a year for a couple of hours. I see them. Even one man we know, many of you who come to India with me. One man, he comes from Japan. He must be listening today also. Noriyuki. He comes all the way from Japan, long way. He has only a few days holiday. He takes these few days, maybe 1 or 2 of them traveling only. Then he can only come to India for 2 days. He come. Then late in the night, booking in, the next day I see him. And then he sits with me. Then also he doesn't speak English. Okay? Can you get better than that? Right? Then we have to go and find, let's see if we can find, where's Saraswati? Somebody go and call, and then we talk a few things, and then that. Then back to Japan. You see? So sometimes it is not how much availability there is. Sometimes you only have a small window of opportunity, but you will put everything in this. You put everything in it. Another time you have too much opportunity and you waste it. Another one have little opportunity and use everything out of it. Squeeze everything out. Everything. That is. If you have this intense urge for truth, if this is your heart's prayer, the universe, God, cannot abandon you. These are my words, I tell you. Cannot forsake you. If your urge is to know the truth, I just want to know what is real. I just want to offer my life up for what is true. I can't bear the untrue anymore. Or, this world is nice, but it's not enough. I want to find out what is real, what is true. Why am I here? Who brought me here? And Rumi say, the one who brought me here must take me home. Can you have even an attitude like that? Whoever brought me here, you must take me home. Hello Mooji, if you have time, I would love to know your view on a question I have. Where does the soul fit in? It feels like it doesn't matter if there are individual souls or not, as these are still observable or identifiable in some way, and so remain in front of pure awareness. However, there is also something inside me that feels it is in some way sacrilege to refer to the soul as in some way non-existent or an illusion. Mooji, I am very fresh to any level of awakening, so my questions come thick and fast, most of which I contemplate and find answers, but I am stuck here. Namasté, Steve Reed. Yes, you see? There is something inside me that feels it is in some way sacrilege to refer to the soul as in some way non-existent or an illusion, you see. I don't say it like this. In the West, we have a more common term we call soul. And for many people, even you speak about it, they don't understand. They use the term and they have an intuitive sense that the soul is the part of me that is beyond my body. That's most what people think. And the soul is the thing that must go and be with God. Or the soul is the thing that is living but cannot be seen, like this. Or the soul is a kind of spiritual personality. This is our concept. In the East, more, the term soul is a broader thing. Maybe they use the word Atman. Atman is the self, the pure self, as is manifest in each form. The Atman. And they also feel that the Atman, which is in a sense the individualized universal soul, self. You see, that true understanding merges with the universal one, which is, you may call the Paramatman, or the Parabrahman, or the Brahman state. These are just words again, don't get lost in them. But still is two things coming together, like a kind of yoga. Yoga means the union between two things, one thing and another thing. When they come together, they become one. But ultimately, this coming together and becoming one is also illusory, in the sense that when you discover what you are, you will see that it was never separate. It just appeared to be separate. There's only the one, the Lord of the universe, the truth, the God of existence. It cannot divide. It cannot be two. So in order to have experience, which means two or more, it has to dream experience. It has to dream these differences. And this dream, they call in the East the Leela of God, the play, the game of existence or so. When we each inside discovering the God within your own self. It's not an arrogance. You don't say, I am God. No, it's not like this. But you cannot be other than God. You may think it is blasphemy to say I am God. I would say that it's more blasphemy to say I am not God. Because there's nothing that can exist independent of God, which is the great harmony, the great self. So we have to remember that language and culture makes things appear to be vast and different when in fact they are one and the same. Just different ways of speaking. You see? It's like somebody fighting with somebody, give me my pani. No, it's my water. It's my pani. It's the same thing, but they're different language and they're fighting over the same thing. So I just say, don't be so fixed or tight about any concept or about any particular mindset. Because in the end, all of it is just usable for a while and then it's recyclable. It's not anything that is. Don't make tattoos, I say sometimes. Don't make tattoos out of any saying, any utterance. Make use of them to find the thing which cannot be etched. It cannot be carved. It is pure being. It is yourself. Not an object. So it's not that it's non-existent. Sometimes what is happening is that there are many people who have a very sharp intellect and they understand conceptually what the sages have been speaking about, but they haven't themselves sometimes assimilated it in the heart. There's mainly an intellectual knowledge, and these people maybe have a gift of expressing things, but they express it not with the fullness of the love and the wisdom that comes from the sages. So they say things sometimes that are truth, but it's not spoken appropriately. So then the truth is not true, because the truth, when it is expressed, means that everything is right about it. Not just it's right conceptually or verbally, but the timing is right. And the one to whom it's being spoken is ready to hear this truth. How will you know this thing? Not as a human being, you cannot know it. Only by being empty, somehow you watch the universal consciousness flowing and interacting with itself and bringing forth this fruit of perfect understanding and love. The person cannot do it. You see, so many people are speaking these things, but the timing is wrong. They are just speaking it like it is just a fixed thing. And the truth is not a fixed thing. In expression, it takes many forms. And only the one really who is empty, who paradoxically is also full of love and understanding, somehow can serve this prasad of grace and truth. then nobody else can do it. So, in an example, they may say, oh, the soul doesn't exist. But not understand that the one to whom they're expressing this, that language does not connect in that way. And believing in them somehow creates confusion inside. It is like that. Dear Mooji, I love joining you on Sundays for satsang, and today I wanted more than to share with you what happened to me and my fears. Today I had a dream, and when I woke up I felt energy entered my chest and my body went totally cold. I felt very, very cold, and my mind was oozing with a million thoughts. Am I being possessed by a demon? What if I am being possessed by one? And paranoia kicked in. Somebody is out there to harm me. Why? They are doing voodoo on me. What do I do? What will I do? I kept telling myself to anchor in my heart and feel. I was desperate. Who can I reach out to? What external object or prayer can protect me? And on and on. I finally called a friend who practices meditation with me, and she helped to calm me down. Of course, I have no clue or idea what a possession is, but the fear I felt feeling this energy in my chest and the cold that followed were not pleasant experience. Your love and support are really appreciated. I love you, Anna. It's good we talked a bit about possession today, what it means to possess. When you know who you are, and when you've heard as well, you cannot be possessed. You cannot be possessed. It's your delusions are possessed. It's your self-image might get possessed. You see, because it is a weak thing. It is a weak thing. And somebody with a stronger mind actually can possess you in a way. You see, when you are so weak, then those weaknesses, those thought energies can manifest and take on a kind of form and appear like a demon. But in actuality, they come from nothingness, in fact. When you are very, very weak in your physical identity, then they can physicalize themselves and become like actual things playing with you. But they have no reality. They have no reality. You want another one? Or we go? What time is it? You have to go to bed, no? Dear Mooji, I've been trying to write this letter for a while, but there seems to have been resistance towards getting it done. All kinds of nonsense reasons have come up in order to prevent it. It has occurred to me that this kind of delaying only continues because I accept it. I kept postponing as if it is guaranteed that there will always be another day, another opportunity. Who am I to say? Please help me overcome this ignorance and arrogance. Help me let go of what needs to be let go of once and for all. Expose what must be exposed. I must be free in this lifetime. Free of the one with the concept of freedom. Sincerely, Thomas A. Help me to let go of what needs to be let go of once and for all. Don't be too much enmeshed in these complex ideas about a lot of things you have to do or not do. You don't. You don't. You will only feel that there's a lot of things I have to do, a lot of things I have to learn, a lot of changes I have to make. If you hold on to the identity of personal identity, it will feel like that. But if you follow the advice that so much is conveyed through the YouTubes and so on, just follow inwardly, not so much thinking, but kind of follow and see where I'm pointing to. Always will take you back to a state of emptiness and silence inside yourself. And keep staying with this silence. Be one with it. Don't be one in it. Be one as it. And gradually all these things, they will just leave you. Just like a bad dream. They go away. And what is left is just a clear, open space. of being. Then they will come again. But each time you remember that they were nothing, and you remember that they still are nothing, and they will go again. And then you say, yeah, finally, I got it. And they'll be here again. And you say, oh, yes. Yes. And then you stop saying, finally, I've done Dear Mooji, Namaste. There's a strong burst of energy. It comes and tears just flow, and mind tries to find reasons why. It, the mind, can come up with many stories for reasons, yet there is really no reason in the pure seeing. And in this also, it's not just sadness only. It's a burst of energy, and it comes as tears, but it is everything and nothing. If you can say something, Mooji, here, my heart will be so grateful. I love you and thank you for all you are. Namaste, Radhika. Radhika. Burst of energy is going to happen also unexpectedly, and it can take many forms. You see, sometimes there's a burst of no energy, and sometimes burst of energy, and you want to climb a tree, you want to go out, you can't stop like this, but something inside knows there's moving but not moving. There's tired but not tired. There's talking but not talking. There's looking but is not looking. And these two seems to be somehow mutually not compatible, but still here it seems fine. My mind seems to be busy, but I'm very still. So how is it possible? Even the doctors will tell you not possible. Huh? So it comes and tears just flow, and the mind trying to find reasons why. The mind will always have to explain it. Let me tell you about what's happening with you. No, thank you. It, the mind, can come up with many stories for reasons, and yet there is really no reason in the pure seeing. Very good. And in this also, it's not just sadness only. It's a burst of energy, and it comes as tears, but it's everything and nothing. So you find sometimes also not just tears, sometimes laughing. And people laughing, but it's not really in a joke actually. Just laughing, and then crying, and then witnessing. People ask you, what's going on? And then nothing. When we were in Ukraine last year, I think it was, and in one of those satsangs, many people coming up on the stage, and people falling out. People carrying them on. I say, carrying them on the platform. They're coming on. Some people, and I ask them, what's happening? Nothing. Are you free? Are you okay? Yes, it's freedom. One time somebody came and was shouting, I think, on the stage, and Omkara just sat there and we were playing her guitar. Remember. Everybody's going, what's going on? And she, remember. I was like, that's my girl. Very often seems to the manifestation seem very dramatic, but internally there's a silence there. You can't explain. There's a silence inside, but the eyes of the person see the movement and begins to project a lot into the movement. This is what's happened. and then interpret the movement like it's a fact or something, but inside it's just silence. You see? The mind is always interpreting. It sees people smiling and they think, wow, they're happy, but they're really miserable. Sometimes. They see someone looking like this, but inside they're very silent and very full of space. You say, look at that miserable guy over there. But he's completely in pure nirvana, but you're miserable going, look, he's miserable. Look at him. How can you rely on just your physical sight and your physicalized mind and all that stuff? You see, so that's why I say just forget about it all. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Last one, I read. Namasté Mooji, I love you, and I am so grateful to have known you and listened to you since last year. I have noticed several times the idea of me is very impermanent, as it vanishes in sleep, and also from the point of view of the observer, the local identity looks like a bundle of thoughts and emotions which randomly spring, and some of them gain my attention. That's a long sentence. Very good. Sometimes they are powerful and sometimes not so. My question is regarding the unicity you talk about. Seems like the observer still is tied only to the local activities. Where does the totality and universal consciousness or observer spark or is felt? Thank you, Mooji, for everything. With love, Kurosh. Kurosh. K-O-U-R-O-S-H. Kurosh? Which word from where do you are? Kurosh.
Farsi. Farsi. Kurush.
Kurosh. Kurosh. My question is regarding the unicity you talked about. Seems that the observer is still tied only to local activities. Say there is our observer, let's we just put our last attention on this for a moment. Whatever expression consciousness plays, even as a person, even in the person there's the capacity to observe. What is the difference between the personal observer and the ultimate observer, if you want to say? The personal observer is always observing, but with self-interest. So it is observing, but it is also connected with what it's observing. It has some relationship. Because if you don't have interest in things, then they're not stored in your psyche. They don't register that they happen. You see? Because look, our eyes open, and look how many things it's possible to zoom in onto. And to say, oh wow, look at that tree. Have you noticed that tree before? It's like shaped like a chicken or something. Okay? And then oh look, and suddenly this tree stands out. So every time you come here, you notice this chicken tree like this. Okay? And then you create a relationship with that, and something records that is important. Suppose everything that you looked upon, you registered. Could you retain your sanity? You could not. So most things we look, and the senses are reporting sensation contact with them, they don't stay because there is no need to create a relationship with your senses or the sense objects. They just pass over them. I look so intimately at something, but I'm not needing more from it. I turn away and it's finished. Now it's gone. Okay? If I ask you about it later, you cannot, what? I looked at something. I don't recall anything. Because nothing is collected here. Nothing is saved. So this is something that's happening spontaneously anyway. We're not actively trying to do that. It's just the way things are. This is the marvelousness of the consciousness. That without any kind of training, it does that automatically. It sieves through most of the possibilities of connection and only registers those things that seem to have some particular meaning for the one who is perceiving it. Like that. So that is the egoic perception, the individual perception. Then as you go deep, when that is recognized, a deeper recognition is there, deeper observing is there. Then if that observing itself is interested in anything, particularly where there's identity, that also is not yet the pure observing. So each time this is recognized, that observer becomes phenomenal and just becomes another thing seen. So in a short time you'll find that you're just in a space somehow, and there's no interest, there's no person, there's no personality, there's nothing wanted, there's no love or hate, there's no happiness or sorrow. There's just like a field of intelligent space. And this is very natural. Even now it is like this. You see? The memory wants to send up something to say, hey, remember me? Look, hello, hello. But that is also seen, and it doesn't create any... The mind is shouting. But it doesn't have any power because there's no interest there. Before, when you're in the mind frame, mind goes, hey, come, and you're off going down the road together. But now, the mind's voice and presence is far away. Like, you don't pay any attention to it. Like sometimes, when the sun is up, you can see the moon. But nobody pay any attention to the moon when the sun is up. Then the mind is like this moon. Nobody paying attention to it when you're present in your own heart. That is all. So this sense of being, it's not tied to any intention. It is just a sense of being. And everything flows through it. All the senses are functioning. That ultimate state of witnessing, if you want to call it witnessing, what kind of witnessing is the witness who has no interest? If there's a witnessing that has no interest, can you even call it witnessing? You follow my drift? If you're witnessing normally, you call somebody to the witness box. You know, what did you see? Well, I was standing on the sidewalk and then this guy came across and just hit this other guy. That's a witness. He has something to say. What about that in front of whom the whole world seems to be dancing, but it's not interested, it's just looking? In fact, most things in life, they are completely in front of you, but you don't record. You don't record. Why? Because you have no particular interest. Many of you came here to Monte Sahaja from different places. On the way, you passed many things you could have stopped, maybe. A beautiful tree, a flower, a person, somebody selling stuff on the street or whatever. Not so much going on around here, actually. But anyway, but on the way you're coming, no? And you didn't stop, you made it here. You weren't distracted. How many things did you pass? Somebody may say, billions of impressions I pass to come here. What about you? How many things did you pass? Nothing. I say, who is right? Both of them are right. It just depends on you. So nothing really. What is it that's troubling you? The things that seem to still matter to your identity. 99.9% of the possibilities in this world of perceivable don't trouble you. 0.1 thing have an interest, keeps coming back. Hi. Remember me? You see, like this. Then you need to look at what it is, because that very thing keeps you being you. Keeps you being you. Maybe if you lived on an island for a very long time, you would just forget about yourself. Then you meet another human being, then you start to become a self again. Because maybe they remind you you are somebody. You see? Maybe you meet another human being, they don't remind you of yourself. They don't know you. But you meet somebody who says, Susan! Yes, Susan. Boom! Back again. And everything seems to be back, stirred up inside you. There may come a time for you when somebody may call Susan, John, and this is a very far echo. And something will respond to the name and talk. But the powerful presence, which has no name, is here. Thank you, everybody. Long satsang today. One lady came from India, and she said in the retreat, she said this thing. She said, when I told my family I'm going on retreat to Portugal, they said, you're going what kind of retreat? A spiritual retreat. No. They come to us for retreats. People come to India for freedom. Why are you going to Portugal? Why are you going to Portugal? Because in Portugal you find some freedom. I came for freedom here. Does freedom live in Portugal? Freedom is everywhere. Everywhere. But presently also it is being pointed to here. Not only have to go to India, don't have to go to Brazil, don't have to go to this place. Also here it is nice also. In hot southern Portugal. We can come here and we can be looking into this timeless subject of ourselves. Beautiful. Beautiful. I feel sometimes I come here, I was saying just today, I don't want to leave here. I don't want to live here. I don't want to leave here. If you're happy, I want to sit here. I feel very happy to be here. No? But then I have to go sometime. Like that. It feels very good. I don't know what it is about this place.
They say Alentejo is the place where nothing happens.
It is nothing and happens nothing.
They say this is true. They say, I'm hearing it now from other. They say Alentejo is the place where nothing happens. Well, that's about as Advaita as you can get.
Advaita tourism, go nowhere.
Yeah, you come here, you go back with nothing.
Nobody buys it.
There's a sign in Zambujera the Mar where the walking track is,
Uh-huh.
and it says 2 steps to freedom.
2 steps to freedom. Thank you. Maybe keep those separate from these ones. These ones. Where nothing happens. My love. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Lovely to see you again. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
In the retreat, maybe I was silent. I don't know what it was. I just wanted to be given out in the night. Thank you. And I will keep doing that. Oh, thank you. Don't bend that. What my son?
No, no. Yeah.